fall over. Randy has fortified Yoda.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's got to have something to hang on to.
Yeah. Indie Vote is the only live stream where you can find Randy and his Toyota. Get it? Toyota.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's too funny. You were thinking of that all week, weren't you?
Yeah, it took me all. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Indie Vault. Tonight we have
a defective microphone cord again. That's what we have.
Yeah. We have a new one. I think it might be my mic. Manard, she'll be on the show. We have
an abandoning Lewis. That's what we have.
Yeah. We have Lewis running to get to the.
He's putting popcorn in the microwave.
Yeah.
Oh, he's getting his drink. Tonight's drink from Lewis is vodka.
No, it's not.
That's a special stash of sweet tea.
Unsweet tea.
A little bit of rum, a little bit of tea, a little bit of vodka, a little bit of rum.
Yeah, the vodka and rum are you two guys, not me.
I am rumming. It's all good. I'm cleaning my basement all week. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, you gotta say like Grace Randolph. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I'm cleaning my basement all week. Oh boy.
I love Grace Randolph.
Unless I get a big job come up. Yeah. I know it's here somewhere. I'm gonna dig up all my old original art. I know it's all around here somewhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Indie Vote, and we are live right after our intro.
Shake that microphone cord a little. Either that or smack the mic. There you go.
Yeah.
That sounds consistent. You're still low.
Yeah, let me see here.
There you are. Now you're high.
Maybe too high now.
No, you're jumping back and forth.
Yeah, maybe it'll patent it. It'll figure it out.
Yep.
It might actually be the software. I'm not sure. Because remember, it didn't do this on Hangouts, but we'll find out. All right, here's our intro. We'll see you after the jump. Welcome to Indie Vote, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, your host, Varian Grant. What am I? How many years I've been in this trifling business? Too damn long. Publisher of comics and other geek-related things. Founder of Indie Vote. Co-founder of Last Call Comics. So that is very important. You have to live. If you're a co-founder, you better state it. Anyway, so yeah, we are. I'm joined by my usual panel, Mr. Lewis Bright Raven. Lewis.
Yes, I know. Hello. How are you guys doing today? Hope you're having a good week so far. Mine has not been the best, but we'll work through it. 26 years in the business. Worked with many independent publishers, including Arrow Comics and Slate Labor Graphics, and run my own studio, Constellation Studios, for a while, and trying to get back into the system. And we are also joined by Mr. Randy Zimmerman, Zim Geek.
Hey there. How you doing? 30 plus years, put it nicely, in the business. Worked for a lot of different people, a lot of different things, mostly self-published, my own stuff, lots of stuff. Last 10 years, I've been doing Flint Comics and Entertainment, which is a free-to-readers newspaper with comics and entertainment articles. Flint's favorite bathroom reader. It's been was a lot of fun to do, but after 100 issues and 1 million copies on the stands, decided to stop doing that and go on to greener pastures. One of which is this podcast here on Indie Volt Radio. And we want to welcome all of our radio listeners.
Yep, our radio listeners are usually listening on Wednesday, but you guys have been turning out in droves to hear us babble on about comics and where we think this industry is going. Again, we got some guests coming in tonight, and we're going to actually try to get Professor Trico, in here with us as well. Guys, I want to jump right into questions.
You keep you're jumping back and forth on your volume control again.
Yeah, I don't know. See if I mess with my. That probably didn't do anything, did it? That probably doesn't help anything, does it?
It doesn't.
It did, but it did for a minute.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird.
right there was
Get a
good.
new mic. That's all there is to it.
Pay too much for this one. Yeah, it's gonna be weird. I have to figure out something. I don't know why it's doing that. Hear me now though, decently at least.
You're low. Yeah.
Yeah, you're real low, but we can barely make you out.
Yeah, but don't try turning it up because when it blasts back in, it's going to blast hard.
Oh yeah.
The YouTube link. I know you posted it. I know I reposted it.
Yeah, I can send it to you too. I can send it to you again.
Yeah, please do so I can post it and say that we are live. What the heck? Where did that come from?
I can send it to you again. Okay, here we go.
Some news to cover this week. Some news to Barry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got we got some videos. I want to jump into questions if we can.
Just a second.
Yeah, give me just a sec here. Go ahead.
All right.
What?
That's a repeat.
Oh.
I heard myself too. So. And there's one other thing I want to see if that helps. Because it may go back. All right. Let's see. Some of those keys, those key strikes.
Yes. You gotta have something.
Alrighty.
All right. Are you guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a question we got sent in to IndieVolt. And before, well, just a second. Did it now. Put it up.
Another second.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I am posted.
All right.
I personally don't write any important Black or Latino characters into my work. I hope that's not coming from me. There's an echo coming through my ear.
Yeah, there's an echo, but I don't know what it is.
Let me see here.
It's not me.
Let's find out.
Sorry, folks. Technical difficulties. I think it just went away.
Let's try. I disabled some stuff here in the chat. And
Now it should be coming back here. I got to mute mine. Give me just a sec. As soon as it kicks in. As soon as it kicks in. There we go. All right. I personally don't write any important Black or Latino characters into my work because those characters usually have to be there race before anything else. You can't just be a science nerd who is Hispanic. His heritage has to be front and center. Aaron C.
That's not a question. That's a statement. And okay,
Yes.
That's your opinion, but I don't think either one of us agree with that. Do we, Randy?
If that's how you need to work, you really need to get more confidence in your writing ability. So, having somebody of a different race in there is just adding to the diversity, really.
yeah. I think that having people are going to be upset no matter what. If you write a character that someone feels that they relate to and it's not 100% like they would do things, people are going to get upset, or they will like the character to be. But I think that if it's your story, who says that the character has to be their heritage first, or has to be of any predetermined
Ethnicity.
Yeah. I don't think. I mean, it's your story. You write it the way you want. People are gonna hate anyway. If they don't like it, they're gonna tell you they don't like it, and they're going to rake you over the coals. That's what happens in our lovely industry. But
whenever I write a diverse character, I write him in Midwestern English anyway. So no matter what their skin color, pretty much, because not to do that, in my mind, would come off as stereotype.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere down the line, you're not going to get something right.
Right. I mean, yeah. The
Plus,
research.
everybody that I know
It's pretty
pretty
much
much
Midwestern to you, yeah.
speaks Midwestern English. Yeah.
I would say too. Feel free to do research. Ask. If you're writing a character, just ask the person that's closest to the character you're writing if something is you know comes across as racist, or if there's some type of you know tradition that needs to be followed. Usually there's not, and if there is, no one really gives that much of a damn. I guess there might be some people who do care, but
The old adage is always write what you know anyway.
yeah,
So, or write what you can research.
yeah.
Figure it out.
Next question is Randy. You may read.
Drugs. The industry is missing all the good LSD, acid, and pure coke. Pure coke. We all enjoyed in the heyday of comics. These writers nowadays are all straight edge, and it's killed comics. Jay Lonsdale.
Now, before you
Well,
answer,
again, not a question. but
before you guys answer that, let's bring in a writer who just came in. She's backstage. I'm gonna bring her in right now.
Okay.
Stephanie Manard is with us.
Hello,
Hi, guys.
Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie.
Introduce yourself, Stephanie.
How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you today?
Good, but tired.
We
It's been a long one.
we actually 1 second. We actually have special effects for Stephanie. 1 second. We bought special effects. There we go. Yeah.
Aw, I feel so special. Oh, so what are you guys talking about?
Well, we're answering our mail for the week.
It's on the screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Talking drugs.
Yeah, and a guy, Jay Lonsdale, wrote in. He says that the industry is missing all the good LSD, acid, and pure coke. There's a difference, I guess. We all enjoy in the heyday of comics. These writers nowadays are all straight edge, and it's killed comics.
They don't know today's writers very well.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I've met too many of today's writers, and it's like, if you're not on drugs, then there's something really wrong with you.
Pure coke. We get some crazy letters in sometimes. Luckily, we only got 2 this week, so this is a good thing.
Yeah, I think the main problem is people, with the writers today, we're getting a lot of science fiction writers coming in. And even though the audience demanded it to be like a return of what we had in the Silver Age when Julius Schwartz was ringing in the top science fiction writers of that era, like Al Bester, Gardner Fox, most comic writers today don't read science fiction, so they don't know what's actually out there. So they're not familiarized with the styles of what those writers are doing. And so they're not familiar, they don't like it. It's wrong. It's SJW.
Well, now, Stephanie, you write sci-fi, and you got a new book.
Yeah, it's mostly horror, but yeah, I mean, I throw a little bit of science fiction in there because I love sci-fi, but I'm a horror girl, so that's my main love.
And I'm pulling up your project right now. I'm gonna put it on the screen because you just did your Kickstarter and you just funded. Is that right? Yeah. I'm pulling up now.
Yeah, I just got funded today. So
Good for you.
yay.
Awesome.
Tell us a little bit about it while I cycle through the page here and talk to folks about it. I'm gonna put it on full screen so they can.
Oh, there it is. Look. Now I don't even have to check it for a while because I just seeing it. Well, Aeonian 2 is the second of 4 issues for the first arc of an ongoing series. And it focuses on a character who is, for lack of a better word, I've just been using Father Time because it's like the idea of Father Time, but completely exaggerated. And he's able to, his effect on humans is that he extends their life period. So in this first arc, this family has figured out that he can do that. And so they're trying to figure out how to make it permanent and not have to be tethered to him to live forever.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's like a horror sci-fi drama. There's a lot of stuff in here that's a little dramatic, but it's definitely fun to write.
Yeah, I gotta say, Stefani, you come up with some pretty cool covers. You on the cover of the Psychopath. This one right here with all the mannequins in there. That's freaky. That's I like that. It's very.
Who's the artist on these?
Staniak is the artist. He did that cover and all the interiors. And then I have Robert Nugent doing the colors and Robin Jones doing all the lettering.
Robert Nugent. How well do you know him?
Oh gosh, now I've known him probably about 4 years, maybe 4 or 5 years almost.
Did he go to Central Michigan University?
That I don't know. I've only known him since he's been a New Yorker. That's him right there.
Nope, that's not him. Okay.
Okay.
The reason I asked is because I had a person I went to college with who was a comic artist named Robert Nugent. And I was like, what? Really? Is he back?
Yeah. Maybe it's a common name. I don't know.
Yeah, it
But
probably
Robert's
is.
awesome, and I love him. So.
Oh no, that's fine. Yeah, it was like that just made me go, "Woo, he's back! Cool." If that's the same guy,
Now, this is issue 2. Issue. How many issues do you got planned for this series, or is it going to be keep it going as long as you can?
Well, I have 4 written for this arc, and then I have 2 other arcs planned out. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to keep writing it until I don't find joy in writing it. Okay. And then when the joy is gone, I'll move on to something else. I mean, I am writing other stuff too, but this is like my main focus right now.
And
did you crowdfund your first issue?
I did. And I've been working in comics for about 4 years, and I just did my first Kickstarter at the beginning of this year. I waited until I felt comfortable because doing a Kickstarter is a lot of work and it's very time consuming. And I mean, I've spoken with a ton of people that have done Kickstarters, dozens of them, and just try to soak in all that knowledge because I mean, it's really cool to see like your project getting out to more people when you're an independent creator, and I think Kickstarter really helps with that.
Right.
And that's really what I use it for, is just it reaches more people than I can. Mm-hmm. I don't travel that far. I'm an independent writer. I stick around like Michigan and Ohio. Mm-hmm. So this kind of gets it all over the place for me, which is nice.
Cool.
Ted Davies says, "Hey, Stefani." Ted Davies is he's got his book out. He's actually his book comes out in a couple of weeks, actually.
As soon as they can wrestle it from the printer.
Yeah. Did you no, Stefan, this book I remember the first thing striking is the covers. So now you got one cover with, I remember the first cover with the cloak and the clock, and that was freaky. That was freaky to me. This one now has the mannequins, which are doubly scary. Now you gotta do the third one. It's gotta be even freakier than that. It's gotta be eye catching and.
I know, like once you start there, it's like, how do you one up that? Like I didn't think we could one up the first cover, and I really love the second cover, and I'm like, what are we gonna do next? Like it's gonna have to be extra, like just extra crazy and extra creepy. We'll see what happens.
Now,
it's just going to be a photo of me when I wake up in the morning, and everybody's going to be terrified. Yeah.
We'll have to hold a contest, like just different. It's got to be after a convention. It can't be like at home, because at home people are comfortable. They wake up, they're fine. Convention, you wake up, everything's horrible, especially after.
I feel like after like a 2 or 3 day convention, I wake up and I look like a Picasso because I'm just so tired. like one of my eyes is sliding off my face. It's just like I'm done. I need 2 days to recoup from that.
Well, now you go. You do a Picasso cover.
Yeah.
With a sliding eye.
With the eye sliding down the face.
Yeah. There you
Perfect.
Go. Yeah.
Write it down before you forget.
I'm logging it in my mental card file.
I know you don't.
It's like the old library system in my brain.
I know you don't have much time to stay with us today, but um, one of the things we're talking about on this show is for this week is that some creators are finding that companies are wanting to only publish their book if they can maintain or they can hold all of the film, television, rights to the
Yeah.
project. And that's the only way they'll publish them. And a lot of these creators, some of them, unfortunately, have said, well, okay, I want to get my work out there. Um, if someone came to you, a larger company, Dark Horse, and said,
Well, it could be Dark Horse, it could be IEW, it could be anybody.
Yeah, it said, hey, we
won't
want
be
to
IDW. Sorry. No reflection on her work, just a reflection on their budget.
Yeah. IDWs are not good. Yeah,
Right.
they're not long for this world. But if they came to you, Stephanie, and they said, we want to publish your book, but the only way we can do that is we're going to need that television movie rights so we can throw it up on Netflix or Amazon and get that cheese. And we'll give you a little maybe. But it's
they're probably, you can negotiate whatever that's going to be.
Yeah. Are you okay with that, or do you want to walk away with the rights?
I feel uncomfortable with giving anybody any type of creative license with something that I've written. Mm-hmm. So it's not even necessarily, it wouldn't even be about the money. It would be like, okay, so then you get the rights to the movie and all this stuff. They can do whatever they want with the story, which means they can change it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They, so that what they're doing is they're taking something, they like maybe 70% of your idea, and they want to use, and they change it enough to where it's not even the same thing anymore. That's what I would be more concerned with. Like
want it.
Like, okay, like maybe sure, like as long as you promise like that you don't totally screw it up.
Yeah, how much control are you going to have in it, basically?
Yeah, like, I mean, you all know, we see movies that have been, taken from like books and comic books, and they've just turned out really garbagey, and it makes me like not want to look at the source material. Or I read the source material and I watched the movie and I'm like just so disappointed. So I wouldn't want to be attached to that
at all. The movie for me that comes to mind is Wanted. Oh God, that was nothing like it was supposed to be. That was yeah. You know what? The funny thing is, I actually enjoyed the movie, but it was not the.
It's nothing like the comic. No.
It was not.
Yeah. Well, and like with the TV show The Boys that just came out, I haven't seen or read the source material, so I'm watching the show and I'm thinking this is like amazing. And then I have friends who, have read the entire series and they're like, oh, but they screwed this up and they screwed this up, and I'm watching it going, this is really really awesome, and I love this, and it's like so like to me it's perfect, but I don't know the source material, so that's the difference.
It kind of creates this division of fans because if someone just seen the movie, they're like, "Oh, I love that film. That's a great movie. I don't like the book." And then you got the book peers who call you an uncultured swine or a filthy casual because you haven't read the book. I think that Lewis is a huge fan of Watchmen, the movie. I'm just kidding. No, I don't know if Lewis is a fan of Watchmen, the movie.
It wasn't bad, but I'm not a fan of it.
No.
It wasn't bad, but no, just kidding.
No. I am not a comic movies person at all.
Okay.
Only thing wrong with Watchmen is they didn't stick the landing, and they should have.
Yeah.
And it's kind of insulting that they didn't, but they didn't want to take the chance politically. So
yeah.
There you go. My thoughts exactly.
Yeah.
And I see here too. Once let me bring this up real quick. I know that you don't have long to be with us, but
he's trying to set something up.
Yeah, she has. You have pins too. Enamel pins. Is that what it is?
Oh yeah. That's the. I'm sorry if you guys can hear my dishwasher. By the way, I did not time that.
No.
Don't worry about it. We've heard Lewis's fire thing going off the last 3 or 4 weeks. We just haven't said anything. It's okay. That's the chirping you hear every once in a while. Chirp.
One time I checked my fire. I'm like, I know I heard it all night, but it was actually yeah.
Yeah.
That's like I keep seeing my toes around here. So this is a perk.
Yeah, it's one of the tier levels. This is my, you know, the I like the pin, but like the source art that I had was so much more detailed. And when you go to get an enamel pin made, they cannot make it to like the level that an artist can draw it.
Mm-hmm.
So I really love this pin, but then I look at the original art for it and I'm like, but that's so much better, but it's how it translates to an enamel pin. So, I mean, they did a good job. It's just.
They have to thicken up the black lines pretty hard on that.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, because Stan Yak did the drawing, and it's so intricate. And I'll share it with you, or I'll probably share it on Facebook too. But yeah, so I love the pen. It's just like it's like looking at two different sides of a coin almost. Like, or you know, you're looking at a beautiful piece of art, and then you're looking at like an 8-bit Super Mario piece of art. Like it's the same colors and the same idea.
So the restrictions of the medium.
Yeah, exactly.
Bring it over to an enamel pen. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you did you had some paintings here, 5x7 painting.
Yeah. So for this one, I thought it'd be cool to do like my interpretation of the twins in the series, Anna and Alice. And in the first issue, they seem like really similar, and like, you know, how twins like have the language that they only, you know, speak between themselves, and they have the same dreams. And in issue 2, you kind of get to see them more as individual. And so I thought it'd be neat to do a painting of their minds. And then I'm writing like a little poem to go with each one. And Anna already sold. I still have Alice available, I think. I think she's still up there. But
what kind of paintings are those?
They're acrylic. They're yeah, it's acrylic on they're like 5x7 on just a stapled canvas. So I mean, nothing fancy. I just really enjoy
actually, if you put if you got a frame for them, they're fancy.
Yeah, I love it. It's fun. It's my new arty passion that I have is painting. So
that's cool.
You know,
that's cool.
Trying new things.
Sure. Yeah.
My mother
got to
now throw a female Doctor Strange on there, and you got perfect Ditko work.
Yeah, there you go. You were saying, Varian, your mother's a painter?
My mother's a painter, and so occasionally I'll get in there. I'll go paint with her, and I'll try to outdo her. And I like that she paints landscapes, and then I go right behind her and paint little monsters in. And she finds them later and goes over with trees, and you messed my painting up. Yeah, I needed a werewolf in the background.
There you go.
But yeah. So yeah, when are you expecting Aeonian 2 to ship?
Issue 2 is almost ready. It's it's with my art or with my colorist and my letterer right now. So it'll be ready to ship in September. So the Kickstarter ends at the beginning of September. Everybody will have their book by the end of September. I believe I didn't start the Kickstarter till the book was almost done because I hate waiting forever for stuff in the mail. So I try to run a Kickstarter like the way I want people to run them for me. So give me my crap as soon as possible.
Yeah. That's
great.
I want my comics.
Yeah.
Now, so it'll be out in September.
That's cool. That's cool.
Good.
And we're gonna try. We'll get a couple copies of them, and we'll. We've been trying to give away some indie books here on the show because we have a little wheel we turn and stuff. It's weird, but we're gonna start giving away some books as soon as some of them come in the mail. Some of them, because they are crowdfunded books, have not shipped to me yet. So, but I'll get Aeonian 1 and 2, and we'll try to give some away to some people. See if they can't. Only if you sign them though. Only if you sign them. That's only we're gonna give them away. We'll make sure that she signs the books for everybody.
You also need to run a link to her Kickstarter in the chat and in the comment section down below.
I have the link right here. I will put it there, and I will also amend the the YouTube ad to include it as well. make sure that I posted the ad to her Kickstarter, not porn. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I look at a lot of porn. For drawing purposes only, I have to. Stephanie,
You're
thank
not
you.
fooling us.
Yeah.
We already agreed not to include our porn careers in this.
We still have a lady.
Varian, you have to tell the wifey I said hi
I
and
will.
my gorgeous nephew.
I will. I will let them know that
I missed your wife. I mean, I miss you too,
Yeah.
but you know.
Yeah. I was shocked. I come in a little while ago and I'm starting to get the show ready and I hear this little voice behind me says, "What do you want me to do in the morning?" I'm like, well, for one, I want you to be asleep right now. You're supposed to be asleep, but he's been grounded from Netflix for 2 days and it's killing him. So, yeah, he'll get over it. Though. He'll get over it.
The ultimate punishment.
Yeah. It's for him. It's
I need to go get ready for bed because I'm an old lady, and it takes a lot to keep my 150-year-old skin from showing. I got a lot of beauty sleep. So, I thank you so much for inviting me to come on, though. I really appreciate it.
No,
and nice to meet you, gentlemen.
Yeah, it's nice meeting you. Thanks for coming on and showing us your book. Congratulations that you met your goal. That's awesome. In 5 days. That's sweet.
So much.
Yep.
Yeah. No, it's been fun, and I'm just gonna keep doing it till it isn't, right?
Yep.
If it's
there you go.
Anymore, why do it?
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
Well, thank you guys so much, and
Thank you for being here.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'll talk to you soon.
all right.
Please do. We'll see you.
All right. So that was Stephanie Manard with her book.
We need to keep
Aeonian.
track of her campaign too.
Yeah, we will. We'll keep track on it.
Let folks know how it's doing.
Yeah, and I think that she I know she just funded like completely.
Yeah.
On Kickstarter, which is amazing, Louis. And,
Yes. That's why I said congratulations. That's good for 5 days. She's got an audience built up from the first issue.
Yeah,
which is what that was, and she kept her goal low.
Yeah, and the same
so
for
that she'd
Dorfeast
be able to meet it.
Dorfeast, who was building the show, she cleared hers in 5 days, just under a week.
Awesome.
So yeah,
gotta push.
Yeah, doing real good, and So we talked about this a little bit with Stephanie. Want to bring it up again? That's the purpose of today's. That's like the. I don't want to say it's the hot topic of today's show. Why in the hell would you give up your rights to your product? But before we do that, Dave Supreme asks, question, has anyone done any Galaxy Cons?
Galaxy Cons? Where are they?
Yeah, is it Galaxy or Galaxy? Because there's a Galaxy Con.
No, Galaxy Con. No one's I don't think Dave Brown wants to run it.
Well, there is one that is that, and I forget where it's at, but No,
Galaxy Con. I know that Victor Dandridge just started working for Galaxy Con. But yeah, I've never done one, Dave. Would like to. They seem to be growing. I'm hearing good things about them. We'll see how they, pan out. Maybe next year. Ted Davies said next year as well. Yeah, it's I have never done one. I haven't heard bad things though. I think the only thing that I've heard about them is they've been decent shows. So yeah. And then there's the Rob Liefeld situation, which is also
the what?
Rights. The Rob was it Rob
Richmond, Virginia?
Is it?
Is that the one?
Yeah.
There's a Minneapolis Galaxy Con.
Yeah, I believe so. Is it let me see here.
So Galaxy Con Richmond. It's the first thing that popped up, but that's in February to March.
Do they move? Do they?
Is that the Minneapolis one? Because if it's Minneapolis, that's
one in Raleigh. Yeah, because
there's one in Raleigh, July 25th and through the 28th. That must be the one he's talking about.
Yeah, Galaxy Con moves. Yeah, they travel.
Is that Raleigh, North Carolina? South Carolina?
They had the one in Raleigh.
Raleigh's in North Carolina, and there's one in Louisville for Kentucky. And they're, it's just, there's a bunch of them called that.
Same company: GalaxyCon Louisville, GalaxyCon Minneapolis, GalaxyCon Raleigh, and GalaxyCon Richmond.
Yeah, I guess they're kind of a subgroup of Repop, possibly.
Then they're a chain, huh?
Yeah.
They formerly known as Super Conventions or SuperCon, legal name GalaxyCon LLC, is a privately owned company based in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, that organizes comic book and anime conventions in the United States. Events currently include GalaxyCon Raleigh, North Carolina, Louisville, and Richmond, Minneapolis too. So yeah.
Did you just ask for YouTube notifications to go out?
No, did they just go out?
Yeah, I just got mine. Just got it. That was the ding you heard a little bit ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's weird.
I have a string of exclusive variant covers and cosplay wrestling on display.
Now, Lewis, you were a little bit better versed in what happened with the Rob, is that Rob Liefeld situation with his
Liefeld, not Liefeld.
Liefeld. Can't draw feet.
Well, I don't know if I'm more well versed in it, but
you brought it to my attention, and
okay,
you bring it before the board.
Well, basically, apparently, Rob is no longer holding rights to Youngblood and some other properties of his, because back when he was doing, he left Image for a little while and did Awesome Comics. Mm-hmm. In order to get funding for that, he got Scott Rosenberg. And I think Randy, see, I know Randy's going to laugh when he hears the name Scott Rosenberg.
Oh, no, I'm familiar with the situation, Lewis. Just go ahead.
Yeah, okay. And he had Rosenberg and a couple of other people invest in Awesome temporary situation, hoping to get, movie deals or transactions done so he could pay them back and still own everything. It didn't pan out, and ended up that recently some of the character properties now are owned by I can't remember the guy's name, but he's not the best person in the world to have to deal with.
Andrew Rev.
Yeah, Andrew Rev. Thank you.
Yep.
And so now Rob's like basically letting the people know, well, I'm no longer doing Youngblood, and whether or not this had anything to do with why some of his Kickstarter campaigns never got fulfilled when they were funded or whatever. Who the hell knows? But yeah,
I would assume that it ties back to that, but like you said, we don't know for sure.
Right. There's no evidence of anything. It's you can claim what you want.
He hasn't come out and stated that outright, that's why things haven't been fulfilled.
Right. And so, I kind of look at it as, well, it's something that Rob should have had the money to do it. Of course, he wasted a lot of money doing what he did as an Image guy anyway.
What?
Yeah. Well, when I say that, I mean, he was too busy.
I didn't say anything. I just asked what.
Oh. Well,
I'm just looking at the guest list for this GalaxyCon. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Are you going to this variant?
I don't plan on it. Not until maybe next year.
Ric Flair's going to be there.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Ooh.
Well, is that?
Even I know who that is.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, Lewis. Didn't mean to interrupt your story. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. I was just trying to figure out when that was being held. Because that one's already been held, hasn't it?
It's the 25th through the 28th of this month.
Oh, I thought it was last month.
Yeah.
Well, the Raleigh.
July 25th.
I know I'm not going. So.
Yeah, July 25th to the 28th of 2019. That's already happened.
I'm sorry. That did already happen. Yeah. We're in August.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mistake. Sorry. What do I know? I'm
all right. But anyway, so basically that's been on the news lately about Rob going public and saying, well, if there's any more Youngblood books, I don't have anything to do with it, so don't buy it.
They've already announced Youngblood and Elementals.
Yeah. And
coming out through
Terrific
Publishing or Terrific LLC, something like that.
Yeah. And that's not, of course, Elementals is Bill Willingham, not Rob Liefeld, just to be clear.
Willingham doesn't have any control over that either.
Right.
Just like Youngblood with Rob. Yep.
Yikes. I mean, is this the? I mean, obviously, I don't think it's the future. I think you just have to read your contract. But I mean, when you go out and you allow someone else to, you ask somebody for money, they're gonna want something from you. And
Yeah, and in this case with Rob, I get it. It wasn't much of a surrendering as much as a business fumble.
Yeah.
That and the rights ended up being forfeited as collateral to Rev or to Rosenberg, who then surrendered them to Rev. But Rev is in possession of them now. Apparently, the big driving the big insult was that Rev contacted Liefeld and offered him to work on the book and told him he could make him as famous as Todd McFarlane.
As if Rev doesn't know anything about who Rob Liefeld is, you know.
And that was like a hard salt into a really bad wound. And I don't blame him for walking. I mean, that's exactly what I would do. I would have done the same thing. It's made a press release and saying I'm not associated with this. I've had movie deals come my way that I've turned away, telling them that I'm not associated with them or with that property anymore. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to have anything to do with it until I get it back in my hands, which will probably never happen. So, it's a sad situation, an unfortunate situation, because it was a property that was very close to Rob's heart. And that he had put a lot of time and energy in, but he also pointed out in his statement that he has a lot of other properties that he's working on, including a bunch he hasn't announced yet that are already being looked at by other media. So more power to him, whatever he's got to do. Yeah, it's a lesson learned. He won't do that again.
No, he won't. It's
Gosh. But this is a trend that's gone on for decades. This is not something new. I mean,
that's part of the fun of the history of comics. You do a little looking back on the history. The rights fly all over the place. DC's really notorious for that kind of thing, especially when it comes to like Captain Marvel or the Fawcett characters, the Charlton characters, the quality characters. It's all a matter of shuffling the deck chairs at this point. So
I mean, then to hear that I know that Jeremy Treese, who's a friend of mine, has a new book out at Dark Horse, and there's a fly that came to visit. Wow, nice.
We don't hear the fly; we hear the chirping, though.
Yeah. And he's got a book that he just released over at Dark Horse, and now I'm hearing that Dark Horse wants rights from some of their creators too. They're creator-owned people.
This right here.
Yeah.
The Quiet Kind. This came out 2 weeks ago.
Now, did Jeremy do the interiors on that book, or is that?
Yeah, Jeremy did the interiors, and Chuck Brown, who's one of the writers here in my hometown, Columbia, is the writer. And when I got the book from Chuck last week, he was telling me that they're in negotiations with Dark Horse for continued publication. And I don't want to get into this stuff because, first off, Chuck didn't give me all the details. And I don't.
Is it a 4-issue series?
No, this is a one-shot.
Oh, okay.
56-page one-shot.
Yeah.
And if it does well enough in the sales, then they're going to negotiate series of 4-issue miniseries like Beast of Burden or some of the other books that Dark Horse has been doing.
Yeah.
And basically, Dark Horse is wanting part or all of the media rights representation.
Yeah. Oh, they have the production company.
Right.
So, or at least they did last time I knew.
Yes, they do. And so basically there are negotiations for that. And I don't know the details and I don't want to say anything that might accidentally spoil anything. So I'm just going to keep my mouth shut any further than that. That was one of the things I was asking about, because Chuck doesn't just work with Dark Horse. He's worked with Alterna. He's worked with Image. He's, been all over the place, and there's different.
What'd he do at Alterna?
Oh, heck. He's got a trade paperback collection. I can't remember the name of it now.
Is that the Feast or Famine one that they're currently doing
No.
Scrimshaw or what?
I'll look it up. Just give me a second.
Right. Is he still dealing with Alterna?
I don't think so, but
he one of the ones that left when they said no blockchain?
I don't know. That shows a level of incompetence, in my opinion.
Because Chuck's also the guy that does the Bitterroot book for Image.
Okay.
And I'm looking to see where his stuff for.
Wonder where Ralph is tonight. Is he on board? Ralph, are you out there? I don't see in the chat yet. I'm sure we'd have seen him because we mentioned Rosen.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd have popped up in the chat and said, Rosen. We need to have Ralph on. He keeps saying he's going to come up here and get on board.
Yeah.
With us. He needs to do that. He's got stories.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it, and I don't see the book that he's done for them off the top of my head, but I know he did it. Just saw the darn collection at the store.
I
didn't get it.
Want to say everybody in the chat. We have Ted Davies, Jesse Bird, Gabriel, Dave the Supreme. Who else? I'm sorry.
We have 10 watching now, so there's some people in the chat that haven't clicked or haven't. Some people watching us that aren't part of the chat, and some people that haven't clicked that like button yet.
Yeah, James Dunn is there.
So
as well.
don't be afraid to do that.
Yeah, you
hit that thumbs up down there. That all adds to the algorithms.
Mm-hmm.
The precious algorithms.
James Quinn, welcome aboard.
What's that? Oh, okay. Sorry, that was a website I was checking to find, and it started playing music. I didn't want that.
Yeah.
After
Don't try to get on Bleeding Cool while we're on the air. Holy crap.
Yeah.
That thing pops up so many ads, it drives you crazy.
Make sure you smash that like button.
Make sure you smash that like button. Give Varian a chance to use his graphic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't found the book. I'll have to ask Chuck and get back to you on that, which one he did with.
Let's jump up on Comic Vine or whatever the other comic site is and see if he's listed.
I don't think Comic Vine up. Is it live right now?
I doubt it. They're way behind on their info.
Yeah. I went up there. There was stuff from like 2017.
Yeah, I know. I've sent them a ton of corrections on a lot of the stuff that they've added, but I can't. I don't see them changing it very fast.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it.
Starting to get back into comics, you go up on all these sites, and it's like, dude, you're like 20 years behind on anything listed for me. Here we go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's if you're lucky enough to get them to list you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have it.
That'd be very important.
I will tell you this: if you're looking for individual news, I got a check from Caliber. That was kind
cool.
And a nice letter from Eric explaining what's up with them. That was good. I'm rather impressed. He's bumping into Caliber is pushing harder into libraries and into a couple of other digital sites, which is nice to see.
Very cool.
So yeah, it's nice to see him working to get out there. Hey, Arts and Crafts channel.
We
wonder who that is. Let us know who you are so we can say hello proper. Arts and Crafts channel. Oh, that's probably Laren. Is that Laren?
Perhaps. We'll see. Oh.
Yeah, it doesn't show on Comic Vine either, but I'll find out.
Yeah, they're behind. Yep. Hey, Dee. Thanks for jumping on board.
We have let's see now. We went over the questions already.
Really? That was all. You didn't have any questions.
We only had two questions.
We didn't address that last one properly about drugs.
Oh, okay. Well, go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
You want to pull that up?
Yeah. Let me pull it right back up. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Drugs.
Drugs. The industry is missing all the good LSD, acid, and pure coke we all enjoyed in the heyday of comics. These writers nowadays are all straight edge, and it's killed comics. Jay Lonsdale, I'm not sure what comics you're reading. Obviously, the ones that don't have a lot of imagination tied to them. But I think what you're really looking for is highly imaginative comics. That and granted, a lot of these guys were on drugs back in the 80s and 70s and 80s that when they were doing them, and there were a lot of really good drug comics out there too through the underground. But I don't think the drugs were really the main proponent to these people. I think they were just talented. Don McGregor did some amazing work, you know, that you would swear he was on drugs to do. And he probably did some recreational, but I don't want to speak for him. Mm-hmm. But he's still on Facebook. He just can't find work with these modern editors out there. I mean, he's slowly getting one or two jobs because of Black Panther and the fact that they're realizing he did a lot of the stuff that Coogan adapted for Black Panther 1. But, you know, some of these older guys, these more imaginative guys, these guys that grew up in comics with an imagination that know comic book structure, they're not getting the jobs like they ought to be getting. You know, when's the last time you see John Ostrander write anything? When's the last, like I said, with McGregor, look at Claremont, he's still around. And he's not hardly writing anything, nothing that I'm aware of at least.
Well, they're paying him not to write.
Well, they were. I don't know if they're still doing that now because they've kind of stopped a lot of their exclusive stuff. Marvel has.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse Bird said, "I would like one marijuana, please."
Welcome to Michigan.
And yeah,
but yeah, the drugs were better back in those days. Absolutely, a little pure, but there was just a whole air. It's like the Beatles. You know, there a lot of these guys were feeding off of each other's imagination and talent, and trying to outdo each other. You're never going to see people like McGregor or Gerber or even Ditko. Well, especially like Ditko or Kirby, around for quite a while because they beat all the individualism and most of the imagination out of these people. 3/4 of these books now are all written by the editors and just scripted by the writers. Mm-hmm. They're told what they have to do in order to get to the next big event. You know, or they have to get to this point in order to sell this IP property or introduce this new character or whatever. And a lot of these writers don't have the say or the openness that they used to back in the old days. You know, and nowadays your best imagination is probably going to be found through your independent books. So, which really makes me miss a lot of the underground market. You know, that's no longer around.
At least
a lot of these
Diamond.
Yeah, well, a lot of that's crappy Diamond, especially. Yeah. But you know, it's silly DDO, and I'm sure.
Oh yes, DDO.
Cebulski are up there crying that there's no talent in the industry, but they haven't done a convention in 20 years. You know, to actually look for any of the talent. They're all out there in the independent market. They're the ones out there with the Kickstarters that are out there trying to, like the book we just had on from Stefani, that are out trying to do unusual things. Mm-hmm. Well, here they've got all these wonderful toys. They've got all these beautiful IP properties that they could be playing with and stretching and recreating and rebooting and doing it creatively instead of, you know, stale, like a lot of the Marvel stuff that's been coming out lately. And they just don't want to give anybody a chance unless they're somebody's buddy or they wrote a really bad YA novel or they wrote a couple science fiction stories. Whoopee. A lot of these guys don't know comic book pacing or structure, or a lot of them, they don't want them to know. They just want them all to, you know, write yourself in there as this character and have them sitting around eating pizza. Or what was that? Shawarma nachos. There we go. That's all just. Oh, hell no. You know, a lot of these editors need to sit back and start reading some of that old stuff to realize what used to sell.
Well, how about we just get rid of the editors and get back the ones that we used to have?
Well, that would be nice too, or actually get people in there that know what they're doing.
Right.
That would be a welcome change.
I mean, you know, Theo's sitting there talking about how he's thinking 5 years ahead, and the publishing schedule is 2 years ahead of what's actually on the market. So he's not.
There's no way he's thinking 5 years ahead. He's sweating. He's sweating right now, 5 months ahead, praying that AT&T doesn't come down and shut him off like Mad Magazine.
Randy, I'm just quoting the jerk. Okay.
Well, yeah, he can say whatever he wants, but that doesn't actually meet with reality. Well, just like his claim about the talent that's not out there. It's like, are you insane? Obviously, you haven't done a convention in 2 decades.
Yeah.
You know, look at all this. You put me up. I was thinking seriously. I've got a couple of rants recorded about how to save DC Comics, but I don't know if I want to do them. I don't know if I want to, take the time to actually produce them because I don't know if it'd be worth the effort.
Well, it'd be worth the effort to get it off your chest, but the question is, would somebody at Time Warner or AT&T listen and then say, do what the hell he says, and then you don't get any credit for it?
Well, and if they didn't, it would still be worth it just to be able to buy those comics.
I don't think from what I'm hearing, AT&T has no interest in the publishing industry.
That's what Forbes says, but that's another conjecture article, and a very, might I say, a very negative one. If you sit and actually read it, about they're trying to second guess AT&T based on the movement or the decisions that they already made compared to Vertigo and Mad. And those titles, those imprints aren't dead. They're just not doing new material because apparently they can't find the talent to do it.
Well, it's not just that. They shut down Vertigo basically when they fired Karen, technically.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And that's all because Warner Brothers doesn't have the rights to a lot of those properties. And they're saying, well, if we don't have the rights, we're not going to publish those books anymore.
Well, that's probably a good point. That's probably
that's all it was. Because they wanted to make movies out of Vamps, and they wanted to make movies and TV shows out of these Vertigo books, and they couldn't.
I'm sure the fact that they the last push into Vertigo produced some incredibly, horribly inferior product that sold practically nothing into the retail shops didn't have anything to do with that. They had an editor up there who had his head up his butt, and using his buddies up there in order to produce work that was completely substandard. And I picked up a couple of them books. The wife loved Vertigo. Always picked up the number ones. They were horrible. The books were trash. And they were, quite frankly, an embarrassment for the company. But it's sad to see that they had to shut the imprint down just as Sandman gets out there, to Netflix. Boom, all of a sudden Vertigo's done. Preacher's probably going to have one of the best years that they've ever had on AMC because they have to promote that. They're promoting that, I'm sure, a little bit harder than what they had the last couple of years because Walking Dead's starting to fail or falter. At least not really fail. It's just going down a little bit in visibility or in viewership. So, it's a shame to see that they're cutting that off. Mad, on the other hand, I can understand them wanting to stop because of the product quality. They haven't had that. They and again, that goes back to my
comedy in general. I mean, comedy content in this country in general is really diminished in the last 10 years.
It's a lack of sense of humor in general in the public is what it is. But there's still some stuff that they could have done with that, but it wasn't worth saving at that point. At the point that they were at with Mad, the best thing they could do is what they did. Stop it. Fulfill the subscribers with doing best of issues and just letting it go. They'll still do collections. You still see they've done some really nice big collections that they've sold around Christmas time at Barnes & Noble. And I doubt that they'll be doing that with a lot of the Vertigo stuff, though Sandman's probably going to see a resurgence, depending upon the quality. I know Neil Gaiman's associated with the work. So if the quality's still there, then all of those old volumes are going to sell again. The Why the Last Man deal fell through. They haven't done anything with the Invisibles that they should have done, or with Spider, Jerusalem Transmetropolitan, that they should have done. So you got to sit there and wonder
who owns the rights. I mean, does DC have any rights?
Probably close to a 50-50 split, if not a full. If they have an Alan Moore deal, which I doubt that they gave them, then everything would revert back to them once they stop printing the books.
Not to cut you off, but Disney just announced a $12.99 bundle for Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN.
You got to speak up a little bit louder.
Sorry, Disney just announced a $12.99 bundle for Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good luck on that.
Yeah, that people were saying. I was reading that they were saying that even while we're talking about the DC AT&T situation, that Disney isn't happy with the numbers that Marvel Publishing is bringing in.
That's because they're doing 112, 115 books a month.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of books.
Well, that's they're what they're doing is a complete opposite strategy of what DDO is doing at DC. DDO thinks that he's cutting back in order to focus on quality. That's what he says. At least, actually, he doesn't have the staff probably right now to focus on doing 110 books. He's probably lucky he's got staff working overtime, but they just hired what's his face, Jonah Whelan. Why in the world did that happen?
Because
I sat there and read that and went,
he pissed so much ass at DC when he was running CBR.
That's the only way. That's the only way. It's my buddy. My buddy Jonah is going to come in and help us out.
Yeah.
Experience doing comics that I'm aware of.
My money is selling out CBR, and I traveled the world in my yacht that I got from CBR, and I'm bored. Give me something to do.
And I kissed a lot of butt in my time. That'll get you work. Well, I guess it does in modern comics,
Yeah.
But that's an embarrassment. Why did they? No
There's
experience.
people that came out of CBR.
Does he have any qualifications? Does he have any English training? Does he what? He's vice president now.
No, he's vice president of marketing type stuff. He's not in the editing or anything. Not in the content.
Let you run the IT, probably. Yeah. It's because you did it for CBR for so many years. Maybe you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, that's I don't think that they're gonna do.
They're saying 2 years. They're 2 years at most.
Mm-hmm.
With once AT&T decides that they're worthless, they'll start licensing stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
It's and DDO wants to boast that he's got a 5-year plan. Yeah, good luck.
Mm-hmm.
5 years of what? You're sitting around writing middlemen. What the hell?
Yeah.
Instead of outlining it and handing it to a writer so that you can concentrate on stuff proper.
Right.
Oh, well, I'm writing middleman. Probably as a last, he knows he's smelling
Mm-hmm.
the door, and he's like, well, before I go, I want to write middleman before I go. Let me write middleman, and I got to get that done, get it done, and then worry about where the hell the company's going to sit.
Mm-hmm.
Is that beeping? Is that me?
Yeah.
No,
it's not me.
It's not me.
I don't think it's anything here.
Oh.
The house could be burning down. I wouldn't know until the last minute.
It might have been my dehumidifier down here. But yeah, it's ridiculous. This good for independent comics though.
Mm-hmm.
They'll get them a little bit more of a higher marketing share, and I mean everybody but Marvel and DC. When I say that, maybe even though their product is, some of the stuff out there by these secondary mainstream companies are about on the same level as the Vertigo stuff that just come out.
Well, there's a thought, and
a lot of it by the same people, actually.
There's a want, there's a belief out there that we independents can't survive without Marvel, especially the industry won't survive without Marvel. The industry won't survive without DC. You believe that's true?
Retailers won't survive without Marvel and DC.
Right.
They're not going to make it. They're taking a hit now with DC cutting back on their titles. DC's got to turn around and do some nice high quality stuff. They've got the capabilities, I would think, to actually do it if they wanted to. They just got to want to do it. Marvel, on the other hand, is doing the exact opposite strategy. They're seeing how much they can throw into the market to drain it, to see how much will break. Can we break this retailer if we ship out 120 titles? Let's see how many retailers go out of business. Let's go. They don't care. They're too busy with their library sales and their leftover sales at Ollie's. That seems to be their major concern anymore. Instead of the retailers, they're not out there trying to convince any retailers to pick up product. They're just doing more product. Hey, here's Ms. Marvel going to lunch. Oh, she's got a dog. Lockjaw. Look, she's got Lockjaw. Isn't that wonderful? She's still going to lunch. And while she's at lunch, she's going to meet this villain. Here we go. Three-page fight. Then she goes back to lunch.
Yeah. I mean, that's
awesome potential. Lots of DC especially. DC's got a book. Marvel's book is about this big. DC's book is about that big of IP properties that they could be using, utilizing, and pushing. And instead, both companies are too busy wanting to become lifestyle brands instead of allowing the products to push the lifestyle brand
organically.
Yes. which DC has already done. I mean, you see everybody out there with logos of the Superman logo, the Batman, Flash, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, all the main Justice League characters except Cyborg, but he's not.
Yeah.
Well, Cyborg. What's Cyborg's symbol going to be?
He's got that C.
Somebody must have designed one somewhere.
Digital C. Yeah, it's like a.
Yeah, but that's not something.
If the Rainbow Lanterns have a symbol, I'm sure Cyborg has one.
Yeah.
I'm sure Mr. Terrific has one too. You just haven't seen it very much.
Yeah.
Well, the fly just flew in my can of pop.
Your mic sounds better though.
Yeah. And I killed it on the can of pop.
You killed it.
Yeah, I killed it.
That's all right. That's just extra protein, buddy.
Yeah, I'm gonna
build your resistance. Well,
at least I got it. At least I killed it.
Yeah, there you go.
Dead. You've seen it here. Animals were harmed in the
fly's death. Yep. At least it wasn't out there going, help me. That's an old joke, Stan. Got to watch the movies.
I
knew what
I've
you
seen both of them.
was.
Yeah. I've seen both of them.
Yeah. Help me.
TV 14. We're
R.I.P. David Henderson. Anyway.
After 10 o'clock now. We're TV 14.
We're TV 4 pop. Yeah, you just popped it up. Awesome.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, it's just funny to sit here and watch these markets running in two different idiotic directions. I mean, the mainstream, that is, while the alternatives are out there trying to copy DC's Vertigo.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the guys that are out there actually trying to do brave things to throw some creativity into the market, into the retailers, back to the retailers, or into the market in general, all get branded as heretics. You know, Peter Simeti, by the way, end of this month, he's going to start Alternaween again. Mm-hmm. You know what that is?
Yeah, that's when he does the big packages of
$50 for $50.
Yeah,
we're clearing out our warehouse. You know, there'll be at least like 10 different titles.
Yeah,
$50 for $50 plus a plastic Halloween bag. Last year, he sent around a little chunk of Play-Doh to everybody. Just so that, you know, because he does newsprint comics, and you can press that Play-Doh in and pull it off and get that little image if you want to be a kid again. Mm-hmm. But plus, I think he had buttons, he had canvas bags, all for the $50. You hit a certain tier on his total, he'll throw all that in to all of the packages. Everything turned out in 2 weeks. It was nice. It was really good.
I know Eric Hodson.
He's starting out his $4.99 books next, I think in October or November.
He's raising the price.
And what are those going to be, the $4.99 books?
80 pages.
80 pages?
Yeah, $4.99 newsprint books.
Okay.
That's because all the retailers were complaining his prices were too low.
Yeah.
We love your books, but your prices are, you want only $1 a book or $1.50 a book or $1.99 a book. That's too low. The retailers are telling him that.
Yeah.
So they said, fine, we'll do a $4.99 80-page book. Here's those 3 books that you'd buy for $4.50. We'll charge $4.99, put them all under one cover, not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Boom. You know, Blood Brain, especially the chapter.
The retailer's looking at it as, well, I have to pay shipping 3 times. I don't have to pay shipping once.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a deal for the retailers, absolutely.
That's all the retailer cares about. Retailers don't give a shit about the audience. I'm telling you.
You're trying to get the fly?
No, my pop is ruined. It's ruined. It's gone. It's
just pour it into a cup and don't include the fly.
Oh,
get a glass.
In here.
Get a glass.
I'm pretty sure fly guts are in there.
Here, use mine.
That's okay.
You don't need the soda anyway.
Yes, that's very true. That's why you need rum. Rum. Anyway.
Ted Davey says, Randy, in the majors, DC and Marvel keep this up. The innocent creator stories. The independent stories will be shown as a better entertainment and a better value for the customer.
Not necessarily. I mean, theoretically, yes, but only if the books are there.
Oops. My fault.
Did you do that up?
My fault. No, I didn't. I tried to make a full screen. There you go.
Oh,
okay.
What? I don't need a full screen.
Yes, you do. You make me. I'm trying to give the people. Listen, the average American cannot stand the same camera angle of 15 seconds. Okay, even though I went longer than that, still.
Just keep rotating us
You
around.
tried to rotate me down here so you can hit the like button on my face. Go ahead, get it over with.
I'm not sure I can do that. I'm not sure I can do that. I should try to rotate us.
We can always shift our camera around.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Here.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Oh, there we go.
Do the static TV thing.
And do it like this too. Boy, really blinds you.
Go ahead, though, Lewis. I'm sorry. You said not necessarily.
Not necessarily, because if the retailers aren't carrying the product for audiences to find, independents aren't going to do any better. We have audiences that are going to go seek us out, but how do you grow that without getting out in the public?
Well, that's a problem the retailers have had the last 20 years, because most of these retailers only order for your pull list anyway.
Right.
And most of the customers anymore aren't picking up diamond previews because it's too expensive.
Yep.
And the retailers don't want to give it to them because it's too expensive.
Mm-hmm. And they figure that the fans aren't going to go through it anyway, so why bother? That's one thing. And the other thing is that, and I've had this problem since the early 90s, anytime I wanted to promote books, anytime I wanted to order books, you don't want that. Don't tell me what I don't want. I told you what I want. Order what I asked for, or you don't have my business. Oh, gee, I guess I'm not doing business with about 20 different retailers now. I'm only doing mail order from across the country because that's where the hell I got a retailer who will actually do what the hell I asked for. That's what I dealt with all through my years in Nevada. I mean, when you go to a comic shop and you want Sandman and you want Hellblazer, these are DC books. Oh, I can't sell you that. Well, I'm not ordering that for you. Only goths like that shit. You're not a goth. I'm not buying that for you. That's what I got told. The first damn comic shop I walked in Nevada. And I was like, what the fuck? Okay, goodbye. Don't need your business. Don't need to business with you. And this was something that I saw a trend of. And that was 94, 95. Here we are, 2019, and it's worse now because there's fewer retailers, and that's why these retailers were going out of business. It wasn't just the implosion and the diamond monopoly; it was the attitude of the retailers. Well,
yeah, you're always going to have bad attitudes. On these idiots. Yep.
Yeah, and it's just
the ones that don't want to do business. They won't do business for very long.
Yep.
You know that when I've never gone to a comic store and got told I'm not ordering this for you. What I have been told is that Diamond no longer has that, or no one's carrying it, and I'll have
they're lying type thing that happens too.
I've been told that Diamond's not carrying that book. Diamond no longer has it, but I've never been told, all right, no, I'm not ordering that book for you. I think that right there, I think that type of the situation that you described, that should go on the front of a site like Bleeding Cool, like CBR. Hey, this comic shop owner refused, because listen, I'll be honest with you, I think comic publishers will love to know. Randy, would you
Varian, you're saying that should go on CBR? Where the hell do you think I was back in 1996, 97, explaining this shit to Jonah Weiland? And
no, but it should go on Yelp.
Yeah.
There was no Yelp when you're on the listing.
Yeah, there was no Yelp in 1995, 96, though.
There is now.
Yeah. But Randy, that comic shop's long gone now, of course.
As a publisher, though, wouldn't you love to know that there was a store owner out there who is refusing to carry your book? I mean, there's not much you can do about it, but as a publisher, wouldn't you want to know that?
What's the problem Peter Simeti's running into with these uneducated retailers out there who want to brand him as a certain type of, whatever, retailer? He just goes through it and says, oh, okay, you don't want my product? Guy down the street's going to take it. That's fine. So that's why he's trying to cater more to the retailer with the $4.99 stuff. Let's see how it goes. He says, let's run a test program and run it and see what happens. So at least he's willing to experiment. I mean, DC took him forever to try to get a $4.99 book out. Has anybody seen the Super Spectaculars available yet in the retail shops from DC? The ones that they released to Walmart and Target?
I didn't.
Well, the thing is,
I haven't seen them yet.
Jesse Bird says there's always going to be cats who run their shops like Comic Book Guy from The Simpsons that can always drive away new customers and folks interested in comics.
Right.
The thing is, this wasn't Comic Book Guy from The Simpsons. This was a bookstore owner who carried comics and basically said, well, anything that's not Marvel and DC doesn't sell for me. And I was like, Hellblazer is DC. Sandman is DC. Well, only goths like that shit. And you're not a goth. I took in my collection of Sandman, almost all of it's autographed by Neil Gaiman and the artists after going to conventions and meeting them. I brought my Hellblazer collection in. He still refused. This is the kind of idiocy that I dealt with.
He didn't want your business. That's all.
Yeah, he just didn't want the business. So I had to buy comics from Michigan when I was living in Arizona and then Nevada. And I couldn't afford to buy them like weekly. I had to wait 3 to 6 months to get a pile of books enough to warrant the shipping, which is not helping the retailer in Michigan any because he's holding on to books waiting for me to, get enough to warrant shipping. But
helps them every 4 to 6 months.
Yeah, but that's what I did was did that for from 95 to 2007.
That's a long time.
And the only time I stopped doing it was because his store burned down.
Louis burned the store down. That's what happened. Traco says, I've never had a store owner say they wouldn't order something for me. Me and Traco are in the...
you guys need to travel.
Yeah.
You need to go around the country like I have. There's a lot of stores that just, wow, you wouldn't believe it.
That'd be one of the first things I'd do if I was starting a comic company again, is I'd go around and take a bunch of these guys to lunch.
Mm-hmm.
I do either regional, try to do regional conferences or go and visit them personally and ask them what's up. Let's take a look at your store. Let's see if you're independent heavy. If all you do is mainstream and Funko Pops, maybe I don't want to try to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you don't want my product. That's all right. I'll go someplace else. There's got to be probably a good 15. Well, no, there's only about 15 left. Maybe a good 1,000 stores out there that would listen to a good independent spiel.
And even if you don't
they were going to sell it. And
the thing is, you don't even have to necessarily do it with comic book specialty stores. We need to get our books in other venues.
Well, that's a big push. There's so many people that haven't thought outside the box for the last 20, 30 years that just relied on silly diamond that they don't want to do it. That's why I did a paper for 10 years.
Yep.
Cementi's out there raised a wonderful point about getting into the dollar stores. Dollar General, Dollar Tree. They're all over the place. They got tons of locations. He's the only one that's really bumped into the convenience stores lately that I'm aware of. I don't think Marvel and DC are out there trying to put product in 7-Elevens or whatever the local convenience store chain is.
Just Walmart and Target. That's all they're caring about.
Well, at least that DC had enough sense to try Walmart. But then they ticked all the retailers off because they were doing a superior product for an inexpensive superior product with lots of stuff. Those books are good. I mean, even though they're edited, for the angry mom mob, they're viable at $5.
Right.
100 pages for $5 is a very viable format. And why they didn't start offering those right off the bat to the retailer, even a month late. Somebody up there is not thinking.
They rebooted that recently, and they're supposedly going to start doing that like a month before the.
Haven't seen them. Yeah, haven't seen them.
It's supposed to be October or November when it starts.
Ted Davis says the dust will settle and a new day is coming. The indies are rising and the distro will be created. It's just a matter of time. And then Jesse Bird says that level of blatant gatekeeping is the worst, Lewis. And I mean, and Randy, I used to try to stay after a convention. You mentioned taking shop owners out to lunch. I never took them out to lunch, but I used to try to stay in town after a convention.
You got to catch these guys on like a Monday or a Friday.
Yeah,
Saturday, Sunday, sometime on the weekend or whatever, and just go in and talk to them. Well, try to find. First off, you got to get past the peon. Yeah. That's behind the counter. Because most of the time that's your gatekeeping problem right there. You hire people to sit behind the counter who don't know your product.
Right.
And that's a big problem.
I used to try to
you
stay
talk
in town.
directly to the owner. You take the owner out and you talk to them. You introduce them to your line. You have some samples. Here's what we're thinking about doing. Character X, character Y, character Z. What do you think?
I've tried that.
Well, I used to wait.
Not lately.
Monday.
You haven't printed anything since 2011.
Yeah, I used to
True.
do. Yeah, I used to wait to Monday.
Some of these
and go out
retailers
to
are
the stores.
desperate for product, especially now that DC's cut back.
Yeah.
You know, where's Aftershock and Scout running around asking people? You know, they're supposed to be. I wish they'd kick out products that wasn't IP oriented or move. You know, we're going to sell this to the next big marketing company that comes out. You know, if they were doing regular brands like they used to do back in the good old days, you might see some movement.
You can't really say much about Aftershock since they are an IP company, number one, and they're only hiring the same people that everybody else is publishing, not doing anything new.
Just one of many. Yeah. You know, look at Dark Horse is another prime example. They've got characters, they've got IP properties that they should be pushing. How come there's not a regular Ghost book coming up?
Mm-hmm.
That's a solid character, good thought to it, nice look, not too not too offensive to the current non-misogynistic line of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a good solid character. Even Barbed Wire could be rebooted.
Mm-hmm.
Where's that? Non-existent. All of these characters that they did, they had a whole
can be
universe.
rebooted. It's too sexist nowadays.
No, you can reboot that and knock it down. Just have female people.
You could, but I mean the minute someone says, "Hey,
Marvel's done it to Conan," come on.
Say again.
Marvel's done it to Conan.
Well, yeah. I mean, but you look at Conan now. It's a. I mean, he's carrying.
I thought that was kind of interesting. You see the Ablaze article coming out. The company's called Ablaze. They're taking the stuff from Europe and they're offering it through Diamond's going to take it because it's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
It's a foreign reprint that they're adapting. They're even going to include the short story in the back of it that Howard did.
Mm-hmm.
The comic book adaptation in the front. The rerun the short story because it's all in public domain.
Right.
So they can't call it Conan on the cover because of trademark problems, but they'll call him the Sumerian, even though the logo looks atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it does. It looks like a mess. But I'm looking. I can't wait to see that product. I really want to see it real bad. I hope it does real good.
Randy,
that's the kind of stuff heavy metal ought to be serializing.
You mentioned that. Staying in town. I used to try to stay in town after convention Monday and try to find like comic stores around the area of different cities I was in, and I'd pop in sometimes, and I would always be greeted by. I mean, I didn't try this for a very long time, but I did it for about 3 to 4 months, and I would pop into the store, and very rarely did I find a
owner.
An owner. It was always like you said, somebody behind the desk,
like you got to get past the peon first.
The owner's kids or the owner's wife or somebody. Only one time that I found the owner, and he told me, he says, "Look, I would love to carry your books, but truth of the matter is, I'm selling this business. I don't know who's gonna take over, so I can't. I'm selling in 6 months. I can't, take on books and." Do
you know if he sold in 6 months or did he go out of business?
I'm not sure. You know what? I'm not sure. I never bought the check, but I should.
Probably went out of business.
Yeah.
Well, what I was saying, I tried that back a while back. A lot
90s, probably back in the 90s.
No, about 2007 or 8.
Mm-hmm.
I traveled through South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. And I went to 47 different comic shops, and I think maybe 3 of the owners actually talked to me, and the rest of them wouldn't even let me pull my product out and show them. They're like, we don't care. We can't sell it, goodbye. That was the attitude then. Now, granted, that was 10 years ago. Maybe things have changed, but when you go through that situation over and over and over again, you have to wonder, is this just the way their attitude is nowadays? Mm-hmm. Everybody's, and if it is, then why is the bother?
Trico Lucky says, when I did sales calls for a company I didn't co-found, I usually got into 1 out of 5 stores. Trico, I hate to laugh.
Yeah.
I hate to laugh. I'm sorry, but the company you didn't co-found make it funny.
And that's even with the,
let's go on to say, the stores that know their customers and are good business people were decisive and immediately said yes or no when they saw the books.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I mean, that's the independent game is a lot of It's a lot of pound
I think it's
pacing.
shifting. You're seeing stuff shift because of all the attention that the alternative markets are pulling up. You know, retailers know, any of them that have been around for long enough, they know that Funko Pops is the modern Beanie Baby, and there's that stuff's only going to last for so long.
We had a question.
And all of the games have literally screwed their audience so badly that only the dead faithful are still with them. You know, it's amazing. Wizard of the Coast is selling anything at this point.
We had the question last week.
It's a lot of independents in the gaming that are selling ancillary product connected to D&D and other properties.
That's because it's done by old fans who knows what the fans still want to see and buy. You know, unlike the big corporations that have to go through and do their, you know, wonderful, magical, whatever political touch to it in order to attract the female audience,
or had the question
or whatever audience they think that they have to attract, chase off the regular money, is what that is.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
There was the question last week that's asked if, a couple weeks ago, where the gentleman asked, you know, does his store, I think he said his store can't survive on the independent release schedule or the CG release schedule. He said,
no, they can't, because none of that CG stuff's going through its shop unless you've got the retailer level on some of these stuff. Most of these aren't made for retailers yet.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's the big key.
That's the key word.
Yeah, comic feed. Okay.
That doesn't mean that tomorrow, you know, some comic company is going to come in and pick up one or two of these titles. There has to be a library of this stuff built up first. The retailers just got to hang on until, you know, these guys
go to Indie Planet and start carrying all that Indie Planet comics that are print on demand. But the problem is,
well, that's a mess.
Yeah, that's a mess.
Because it's POD. That's why it's a mess. Your POD guys aren't making any money because they're spending $1.80 to $3 a pop on a book that they can only charge $4 for.
Right. That's what you need to figure out a way to get that set up with print on demand where it's at a decent price so everybody makes a profit.
It's not print on demand that's going to make it.
Yeah.
They have to figure out how to print that thing cheaply, because your print on demand guys are just, in my opinion, a lot of these print on demand guys are just milking the independent market because they can. You know, if there was proper competition and they actually cared about what they were doing and were willing to lower their per unit cost, a lot more people would be printing through POD on pretty white paper. But
it's funny you mentioned that, Randy.
It's gotten to the point now where newsprint has got such a stigma, because I've listened to Samedi talk about it a couple times about how
I've heard a lot of it myself.
That newsprint just isn't viable, and it's like you're silly.
Even your buddy, not your buddy, but your Ethan bitches about that. He says, "Oh, we can't do any newsprint today. Newsprint's no good." Constantly bitching about newsprint.
Did you hear the animosity when she said Ethan's name?
Yeah.
Sir, point of privilege. You have to watch your tone.
Huh?
I've never heard him directly call out newsprint at all, other than the fact that he keeps wanting to bump into the retail market and hasn't quite figured out how to do that yet.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time.
Well, I hear it every damn time I turn them on, just about. I'll have to start.
You must be listening to the same podcast that I have no idea about from a couple of years ago.
No, this is recent stuff. Brand new.
I'll listen for it. I'm telling you, he hasn't brought up the subject of newsprint in a long, long time. I mean, he's boasted that comics need to be shiny again because he loves his chromium covers.
Right.
But he didn't anticipate the amount of time it'd take for them covers to get made, which is pushing back releasing his book even more. He knows it's coming out the next couple of weeks. So then he just said, I think yesterday's podcast or the one before, he says he's can't wait to see it out, because then these people won't have anything to talk about, because everybody talks about now about how he's going to try to gyp the system and keep all their money. So it's all being done. It's all being made.
They're still going to complain unless it's out in.
Oh, they're always going to complain, because
the worst one is out.
For one, they don't like his politics, and for two, he's making money.
Yeah,
that's why they're going to bitch.
I think the shit is the fan when the book.
And they're stumbling. All of these guys are just stumbling around, figuring out how to make money.
Yeah,
that's it, because they're all having to do it on their own, which they were forced to do because they were pushed out of the mainstream.
Right.
So they're figuring it out, and it's going to take another year or two. There's going to be some big mistakes. People are going to lose money. They're already infighting. All of these idiots are up there infighting amongst themselves because they see how much money is. Everybody's advertising for their second issue, and they're making more per unit than what they have the first issue because they figured out what to do. And a lot of these independent guys, a lot of these crowdfunding dudes are talking amongst themselves. So like I said, you're going to see a system come up. They're going to make their own damn system here pretty quick.
Sure.
Gentlemen, it is time.
What the heck?
It's time for Will to decide. I don't know why it's not.
Is it all you and Lewis?
No. We got Lewis in the yellow, and for some reason, me and you are sharing a blue slice, but apparently it's cut evenly.
Yeah, because you're always picking on me. It's 2-on-1 all the time. That's all it is.
All right.
It's like at the casino if you get to spend the rest of your money on one last pull.
But there is a new element to the wheel now. If someone is selected, their name disappears from the wheel, so we don't have to worry about repeats anymore.
Does that mean your name's already gone?
No, my name is there. I'm right there.
All right,
here we go.
Oh yeah, I see it now. You need to make 3 colors on that wheel.
Yeah, it won't do it.
It didn't.
Yeah.
And it is for you, Zim.
Yep.
Zim.
It is for you, Mr. Zimmerman. All right. So, Randy, your question is, congratulations. Your new title is a hit. Okay?
Sure.
Everybody loves your book.
Everybody? Okay.
Everybody loves it. Well, right. Most people. You are clearly on your way to millionaire status with this book.
Oh, yeah, wonderful.
They're making T-shirts. There's Talking Cartoon Network about a cartoon.
Be lucky if I sell 10,000. Go ahead.
You're doing what Ethan's doing with Cyberfrog.
Yeah. You're doing big numbers.
Big numbers.
Here's a problem. You wake up one morning to my frantic text. Randy, the shit is going on, I say. You say, well, you look at your phone. I link you to several articles. Your partner or your partner in this. Let's say you had somebody who came and kicked in the cash. We'll call him Bill Smith. Bill decided. He didn't decide, but Bill's in a little bit of trouble. Bill has been accused. Accusations have been made of improper behavior with convention attendees. What do you do? Like sexual.
That crazy horn dog of an investor.
Yeah. What do you do?
Well, time to find a new investor, probably. First off, I'd be looking at my contract.
Mm-hmm.
So, second of all, I'd be telling everybody, hopefully I'm not responsible or involved, and that I try to distance myself from the guy as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
What more can you do?
I don't know. Some people are saying that there's been this idea that if you turn away from that person, that you're a bit of a sellout. You should wait and hear out the.
With the accusations and stuff. Yeah, that's a whole different story. I thought you were saying there was no question.
No, there's
accusations. No, I would hang in there and find out. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'd hang in there and find if somebody had to have an answer in the meantime, I'd say you're just going to have to wait until this settles out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm under contract to the guy, and I wouldn't be not under a contract with the guy.
Yeah.
Even if I knew him and knew him well, I'd still be under contract with the guy.
Yeah.
That we'd need that paper to lean on before he invested $1 at this point anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's what I do. Hey, got a contract. I'm just hanging on to find out how it settles out. If it settles out in his favor, then, it's all good. If it doesn't settle out in his favor, then it's time to break the contract or something, or figure out a way to distance myself from him. And, it's up to him to sink or swim.
Do you rebuke his
No, not initially. Heck no, just tell him I got no comment on that. I'm under contract to the guy, and I'm not going to comment on that. That's his responsibility. Go get a quote from him. Don't get a quote from me. You don't want a quote from me. I'm working. Leave me alone. I got books to produce. If he doesn't have the money to print them, or if he, if he's in that big of a problem that he's going to be in jail, then I'll find somebody else to print the book.
Fair enough.
That's all. I know it wouldn't be me, unless the accusations were wrong or unfounded.
Yeah. All right. So that was your time. All right. We got another one. Let's spin here. See who we get. It's spinning. It's spinning. It's me. Okay.
I just heard a double beep.
You heard my phone go off. It's sitting here.
Is that what it is? It still sounds like a smoke detector.
Well, that was smoke detector I heard too. But Lewis, your smoke detector going off. What's going on? I'm not going to change the batteries.
Yeah, I may have a smoke detector, but there's no way you guys are hearing it.
Oh, we've been hearing it the last 3 weeks. We haven't said anything. I'm telling you, we've heard it.
No, you haven't.
Go back and listen to the show.
Because I know how it sounds. And
go back and listen to the show. It's there. It's there. We were just trying to be nice. Actually, we were going to figure out how to use it as a bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Like every time it goes off, we'll say chirp from now on.
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
Okay, whatever.
We have so my question is all right, so I released a comic for another publisher.
Another publisher?
Say that again.
I released I do art. Sorry, I do some art for another publisher. The title is released. The heck was that?
That was your art for another publisher.
Okay, that was a shredder.
Going through the shredder. Anyway, go ahead.
And
that was Steve Ditko's. That's Steve Ditko's place, by the way.
and the I opened the book up and I noticed that the wrong artist has been credited. And people are giving the artist kudos online, like, "Oh my God, your artwork is awesome." What do I do? My time starts now. All right, so if that were to happen to me, I would be pretty upset. But I'd reach out. As nicely as possible and say, "Hey guys, there's been a mistake. I did not do this. I did this, but for some reason my book is my art is being credited to someone else. You obviously can't fix it in the book. I would expect a retraction. I would expect them to hit social media, state that there was a problem in the book, and then maybe issue any new copies or future copies printed should be fixed.
Chirp.
I got paid, so that's that's good. But gosh, yeah, I don't think. I mean, I'm the only thing I will be upset about, and Trico can probably testify to this, is if that other artist was taking, all
credit.
of the credit, and yeah, man, thanks for the, But if everyone knew it was a big mistake, then yeah, I would let people know. Hey, I would go to the publisher first before I went online. Like, hey, what the hell? But now if I did it and the publisher was like, yeah, sorry, we don't know who did that. We're gonna give it to Bill Smith. No. Then I'm going crazy. Yeah.
Alan Smithy. That's who you give credit to.
Yeah. But I don't think I'd go crazy. I don't think I'd go crazy right away. It take me a couple weeks of non-action before I snapped. Not like Randy. Randy will probably go in there and flip the table over. First chance.
Accidents happen. I wouldn't spit on any books, though. I might tip the table over. I wouldn't spit on any books. Accidents always happen in that stuff. The big question is, did the check clear?
Yeah. All right. So
and are they doing a second issue? If they're doing a second issue, they can print a retraction.
Yeah.
Chirp.
We know who's left. We know who is left. So, all right. All right. So this
you don't have to spin that wheel now.
No, I don't have to spin the wheel. This is a good one we can get in. Lewis, you only got 2 minutes. So, woosah. All right. So you have a indie character. You've got, matter of fact, you have Blade and Terror, right?
I've got several, but go on.
Okay. So you got Blade and Terror. Is it Blake and Terror? Blake and Terror.
Yeah, Blake and Terror and their Galactic Thieves. Go on.
Yeah, right.
Sure.
Right. And you've got these characters, and they are, you take them to a show, you're showing them off. There's a young artist that comes along and says, "Hey, this is really cool. I like your book." "Yeah, thanks, buddy." You guys talk, you hit it off. You feel compelled to give said young artist a copy of your book just for free. We do that sometimes with exhibitors at shows. Hey, yeah, take this, buddy.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe we'll do a book trade or whatever.
Right. Go on.
Yeah. A year later, you return to the con and find that he has
Stop, Randy.
he has Jake and
Mirror.
Yeah, Jake and Mirror, intergalactic bounty hunters. It's your shit, just repainted, rewrapped, repurposed. Your time hasn't started yet, sir.
Whatever.
All right, so here we go. Ready?
Sure.
All right. 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Sure.
I doubt very seriously that's going to be exactly my artwork repurposed. But
well, not your artwork, but your characters.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is it parody or not? If it's not parody, then I hand the stuff over to my lawyer and I sue the sucker. And a discussion. It's that simple.
Is it worth suing? For a comic character, like especially an indie character, if you're not making that much money? Is it worth suing?
It is if I'm making money on mine and it's detracting from my character's value.
Yeah.
I mean, what happens if his product gets picked up by somebody else because they didn't see mine first, or whatever, and that detracts from my property value for a potential licensing deal if I wanted to have that.
I can see that.
You gotta have to protect your own value for your own properties in that respect.
I don't know if I would.
It just depends on how much the product means to you and how much value you have on that investment.
Sure.
I wonder if I can get. I wonder if I would personally be a little upset. I probably would attack. I wouldn't attack the artist, but I probably would. I'd go to him and ask him, "Yeah, what the hell?"
Well, we already know where we got it from. So I mean, what are you gonna do? Make a big scene in the convention over it? That's not going to help anything. Just take care of it legally, and yes, inform Diamond or other people that yes, this guy's ripped off your stuff. But other than that,
I've had that happen to me. Is Lewis done with his 2 minutes? I'm sorry if I cut it.
No. Go ahead, Randy. Go ahead and talk about it.
I've already had that happen to me. I let it go. I wasn't that attached to the character.
Right. That was which character was that? Was that Hellspawn?
I don't want to get into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was
Let's just say that it happened. I know it happened. I've told people that it's happened, but there's no sense in making a public forum out of it because I quite frankly, I wish the guy all the best.
Sure.
So, or I should say, I wish the creator and the creative team all the best. And like I said, I'm not that attached to the character, so it's all good.
Now would be a good time to let Randy know I'm stealing Spank. I've already got the full 8-arc issue.
I already stole Spank, that's Yellow Dog and K-Bear.
Is it?
I already stole it. Yeah. Too late. You can't take the name. I got the name though.
Yeah.
Because all the graphic novels I do after that's going to be like Spank the Monkey on the comic market, Spank the Monkey on religion, Spank the Monkey on casinos, that kind of stuff. That's what's coming. I just need the time. Yeah, like I'm going to find the time. Been spending the last 3 or 4 days just trying to clean out this mess of a basement. As to say, there's been a lot of this going on.
That's convenient. That's also the sounds of my office when I hear the IRS is on the way. They're en route. Uh,
Well, you don't want to do that. Well, depending upon how truthful you were with your accountant. Yeah, but no, I got stuff back here to 2001. So I got like, what is it, 7 years back? I got 12 years worth of stuff that I'm chewing. So to say, hey, I got a lawn bag. It's filling up with shredded paper. I'm on my second one right now.
Ted Davies says, "I'll go rid of table and throw it over."
Of course he would.
Yeah, and
Just to tell you, there's been conventions that I've wanted to rent a table and do that too.
mhm.
I don't do those anymore. Very much.
I did. We did. I did get an email this week about someone asking. Oh, I didn't put it on the air because I just felt it wasn't appropriate in light of what's happened recently. For anybody who doesn't know, anybody who's not in the it may listen on Indie Vote Radio knows that here in America we recently had some gun violence that broke out. Very tragic. A lot of people lost their lives over the weekend. But one of the questions that was asked was, how long before this happens at a comic convention? And it keeps getting asked. And
say that again.
How long before we have some type of
gun violence is based on comics?
No.
Well, let us sincerely hope that never does.
Yeah,
happen at a convention.
Situation would happen at a convention.
Oh, at a convention.
Yeah.
Okay.
How long before it does? And
I do have to point out though that they just found a site or a
they've
found a page today from the kid from that did the Dayton massacre, that he was a real heavy anime fan and considered himself a leftist.
There have been cases where people have come with weapons and have been caught, but nothing had actually happened as far as any situation. But
had that happen at a Flint show?
Yeah. So.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Guys been dressed as a Punisher with real weapons.
Yep. So there, that can happen. Unfortunately, I'm going to be brutally honest. There are days where I'm like, thank God I don't own any weapons because I might be the guy who does it. But no, I don't. I look at it. That's one of the reasons why I try to avoid the conventions because I don't want to be around the people that piss me off.
I don't know. I mean, I hope like that. We pray to God that never touches.
Never
our convention family. No matter where you are. Well, you're there to enjoy a convention. I don't care what side of the political scale you fall on. You go to the convention to enjoy it.
Well, it's not the political stuff. It's just the stupidity of what people are doing in the industry too.
Yeah. I just hope it never happens. But it is a call and a wake up call for conventions. Some of them, the larger ones especially, to wake up and to realize that this might be something they need to start taking a look at. Because I mean, I know Wizard has a big metal detector. They have metal detectors on every door. They're winding people down. They can't get laxed. They can't get laxed and fall back on that type of we're just gonna let everybody come on in. Don't worry about it because sooner or later, somebody's gonna think, oh, this is a soft target. I can go in here and do what I want. But I didn't put the question up, but I did want to address it. It is some stuff that something to worry about. Jesse Bird said, "Are you getting rid of that stuff, Randy?"
My paper shreds, yes. They're going out all the time. I'm about to do a big clear out of Flint Comics. If you're interested, Jesse, get a hold of me.
Let's see.
I can give you a box, buddy. Just make some time and stop by. I'll give you some stuff to read. I've done that for Varian. Didn't I do that for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oops. All right. I was just making sure. Wait, people sometimes ask me, "Hey, can I come on?" Like, well, I got 10 minutes left. But
who is it? We can go longer.
Oh no, I got to get off tonight. I have to. Well, it's funny I mentioned that because I have to get up in the morning and I have some runs to do. But I'll tell you this: our Thursday morning show should be pretty interesting this weekend. This weekend. I said this weekend. I'm already in the weekend. Got a few people and a couple of books that gonna a few people who have created books that hopefully I got my fingers crossed that they actually are up Thursday morning to be on the show because
are you gonna be awake?
Yeah.
Breakfast Club, come on.
Because we are usually, I won't lie. There's times I came to the computer and I sat down and I thought, oh my god, I can't even see. I need to have a talk. What you don't see is a tall can of Rockstar sitting off doing the morning show. It's like, yeah, Randy's got tea and everything, and I don't know how that keeps
tea, buddy.
No,
it's not tea, not today.
Let's see here, and then let's see.
It's too bad Ralph didn't join us. We like I said, we got to get him up here. We'll get him up here.
Yeah.
I'll help. Oh, it'll help with my project. Yes, Jesse, absolutely. Absolutely. You swing by or give me a call. You can come over. I'll give you directions. I'll load you up, bud.
Yeah. And I got to get there too at some point very soon.
You do?
I'm also starting a new show this week. It starts tomorrow. Correct.
Is that your Wednesday show?
I got Last Call Comics, which is my publishing company. Got a live stream, and it starts tomorrow. I got people from Last Call Comics that will be there, and they'll be on air, and they'll be talking their books, and we'll be doing a little drawing and talking crap that told me we can talk. So yeah. Gabriel Cantu says I need to grab some as well.
Gabe, I hope you have my number. If not, then I'll give it to you. Just Facebook message me. You're always welcome over here, buddy. Always. Now's the time to do it. Stuff that if you want some stuff out of my basement, it'd just make the wife happier to see you walk off with a box.
Get rid of it all.
She doesn't want me to get rid of all of it, but after 20 years of having all this Arrow stuff around and 30 years of having all the massive stuff around and 10 years of having all the Flint comic stuff around, I could stand to get rid of some of it. He's not going to walk off with my vast collection of Kirby comics or anything like that, or my 9.8 slabbed book of the Owasso Taco House funnies. Nobody gets that. Or my I got a 9.8 of Scribble Monster funnies, so it's all good.
And let me see here.
Nobody gets those. Those are all mine. That'll go out with my estate when they're really valuable.
That
that's what is that? Another 35 years from now?
Yeah. No, probably. They probably won't be really valuable for another 100 or so, if then. So that Owasso Taco House funnies, though. You never know.
Let's see here, and I want to remind everybody
that's got local appeal. Oh, somebody just dinged. Jesse did. Oh, okay. Yeah, Jesse, I'll get to that.
Let's see here.
Okay.
I want to remind everybody.
Jesse, you're welcome. You're always welcome.
That if you want us to read your question, you can do so by emailing indievoltlive@indievolt.com. Please include IndieVolt Live in the subject and keep those emails to 90 words or less so that we can read them and fit them into that pretty little graphic that we do. But yeah, and we love questions. I only read 2. We actually had 4 or 5, but I didn't make graphics for them because some of them were rehashed questions that we've already answered. And
a couple of wild trolleys.
A couple troll ones, and it's like, I don't mind a troll ever so often, but we got a show to get through. Plus, I knew we only had Stefani for a little bit of time tonight, so I wanted to make sure we utilize.
Oh, she doesn't deserve any trolls anyway.
No.
She just started.
Yeah. Well, no, she's been around for a while. She actually did a.
Well, just
no, I mean on the show. I believe she's been writing stuff for a while.
Yeah.
Actually, that stuff looked really interesting. So.
Yeah, she doesn't need the Indie Vote trolls yet on her.
Yeah, no. But we still love them. Thank you for listening, Indie Volt trolls.
Yeah.
Form a club. I know we all know you hate us. It's okay.
Just no purity tests, no tribunals.
Jealousy is a vicious beast.
Yeah, that's the only thing we ask from our trolls. No, just be trolling. No tribunals.
Yeah. No purity. No purity tests.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh,
Money changes people, man.
Oh yeah. Can't wait to see how it changes me. I'm gonna be. I'll be. Everyone come.
I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting.
Varian, will you please?
Huh? Money for it to change me.
Oh,
Everyone come. Varian, please give us give us some money. Help the comic book industry.
It's good. It's good graphic. You still got the Han Solo one. You need to keep that around too.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that's going to come up. That whole situation will come up again. I need to clip a couple of old movies for you and give that to you.
Yeah.
Some Kentucky Fried movie clips. That'd be funny.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm
not wearing any pants. Film at 11. Yeah. Kentucky Fried Movie. Ever see that movie, Lewis?
yes.
Okay. Toy robot. Anyway.
Well, I think that's pretty much it for us today, guys. I mean, I know that we didn't.
We're closing out. Oh yeah, we're not closing out that early, are we?
No, not
on time.
Yeah, we're like.
Well, we got almost our 2 hours in here.
Yeah. We get 2 hours in and we cut it. It was a slight show today. We did have an extra.
What's coming up for Last Call Comics? Ted Davies' book's coming out of the printer here real quick.
Yep. Ted Davies' Retrieve. His book is getting ready to come out.
So we have that to look forward to.
It's at the printer. It will be in our hands shortly. Dorothy's Jean's book.
Nia Caller.
Yeah,
Nia Caller.
Nia Caller is it's funded on Kickstarter, which is the only book that we've ever been associated with that is through crowdfunding. But she's been doing really well with that, and we're really. Say again.
First time for everything.
Yeah, we're really happy, really excited about that. She's doing really good work, and then I'm working on my book still, slowly but surely, and I think that we have a let's see here. Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, again,
Yoda's writing a book.
Who's that?
He might talk about it someday. Yoda.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's writing a book.
The Force you will use. The Force he will use.
The Force he will use.
Yeah. I can't.
It's a tale of Viking and heroism.
Heroism and oh gosh, what is he?
Beer.
Swamp, right?
Heroism and beer.
Yep.
There we go.
It was my son's birthday, and that's another thing too. My son's birthday was this past weekend.
I know. Did he have a good birthday? I'm sorry I
did.
couldn't make it. I was in the middle of a sign job I had to get done.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. He was he had a lot of fun. Actually,
did you buy him a Kofi Kingston costume?
No, I did not.
You're gonna have to get that for Halloween. Yeah. I'm demanding it. I want to see that.
At least you didn't get him a Miss Sunflower outfit.
He wants to be Miles Morales. He wants to, but I'm like, maybe we'll figure
you can't be Miles Morales with those two puffy things there. You got to be Kofi.
That's Miss Sunflower right there.
Dave Brown stopped by with his family. They disagree. Stopped by with his family, and
very sorry I missed it.
Yeah, it was really good. Also, Trico was there. He stopped by. We all ate and drank, and the guys left me with a surplus of beer. I'm really shocked about that I was left with. I'm trying to get my wallet out of my pocket. That I was left with a surplus of beer. I really thought we'd go through all of it, but we did not. So, yeah, I've got like tons of beer left here. Believe it or not, with a guy with a company called Last Call Comics, you would think that I drink a lot, and I don't. So, yeah, I was.
Well, you're the bartender. You don't. You call last call, but you don't actually drink. You serve.
Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah, and I'll be so glad when the show is over today, so I can throw this can of Pepsi away because I've almost reached for it 3 times.
Lick the fly.
Yeah.
Just extra
fly Spanish.
Won't be the first fly you've ingested.
Yeah, it probably isn't. Oh God. Yeah.
It's all good.
Ugh. Yeah. All right,
You
guys.
know, that's the fly making that chirping sound.
No.
That's not the fly. The fly. That's coming from a smoke detector.
It's
Well, it can't be from mine because I'm sorry, I haven't heard anything. Period.
You've gone ear blind.
You're gonna have to go back and listen again.
All right, guys. I'll tell you what. Oh, we have something. Oh, so yeah, we got. Okay, yeah, that's pretty
Unless
much
it's unless it's Varian smoke detector.
It's got to be variants because mine aren't going off.
I don't have any. I mean, I have them, but like, there's only 2 in the whole house.
I keep my batteries up to date. I just changed it a month or so ago, so I know it's not chirping and it's way up upstairs. So
I'll have the wife listen though. I'll wife give it a listen. The fly was a friend we made along the way.
my hearing is not that good. Oh, was he? The fly was a friend we made along the way.
And he is now.
He's a mascot that lasted less than 1 episode.
Yeah.
Poor guy. He's done.
It was the Pepsi that done him, man.
Lick the fly. That's his name.
Freddy the Fly.
It was that sweet caffeine that did him, man.
Yep, probably. Actually, it's probably the Pepsi formula, in my opinion.
Yeah, most likely.
All right.
He got expanded and then blew up.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming on with me this weekend. I keep saying this weekend. This week. I will see you both.
Hey, we still want to hear from those Indie Volt listeners, especially those out of the United States, about what they're reading.
That's right, and that's
I'd still be real interested in hearing that.
That's one of the things we're going to bring up this Thursday.
We'll dig up some pictures and talk about how great those products are. That'd be awesome to know.
All righty. Thank you guys for watching, and feel free to contact us again. I
got a fall show coming up here September 14th at the Flint Farmers Market.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I'm cleaning my basement out and doing little tiny commercial work stuff. I'm starting to get that itch to get back into comic book stuff, though.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
It's starting to itch.
Maybe we'll get some cream for that, sir. All right.
Nothing will stop it until it's done. You know.
All right. I'll see you guys. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a good one.
All right, man. Take it easy. We'll see you.